Hello, everybody, and welcome to Built Different. My name is Katie Breidenbach, and I am here today interviewing the lovely Malinda Starr. Malinda Starr, last name Williams.
Yes.
I just love her middle name so much that I could not say it.
It's
but
fine.
welcome. Thanks for being here.
Much. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Yeah, I know. I love it. So who are you, Malinda? Other than having an incredible middle name, I'm just so curious who you are and what you're going to share with us today.
No, I'm excited to be with you this morning, this early morning. But no, I am the newly retired CEO of Omaha 100. Omaha 100 is a community development financial institution here in Omaha, and we've been working to expand access to capital for the underdog in the community for the past 36 years. But by trade, I've built my career as a financial advisor, serving communities that are looking to achieve goals for their families, whether those are transferring wealth, helping children go to college, preparing for retirement, just whatever that financial goal may be. Yeah. Understanding what's happening in the markets, understanding what makes sense for their situation, and being kind of a pin and teller of financial services, revealing, behind the scenes of how this all works so that folks can make the best decisions for themselves.
Definitely.
So I'm excited to get back to that now that I've retired from nonprofit spaces, and bring that here to this community in Omaha, in Nebraska. My dad and I went independent back in 2019, and so we've got an office in South Carolina where I'm from.
Oh, cool.
And now we'll have a second location here in Omaha.
That's incredible. And so important too. My very first role ever was working at TD Ameritrade, and I didn't know much about finance, but I was in corporate communications, so I learned very fast. Well, that's incredible. And you said it, so what was your why behind that? Just because I know you said you mentioned it with your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dad became a financial advisor after he did 20 years in the military, in the Air Force. Yeah. And so I grew up watching him and having him make sure that I, out of my allowance, pay the taxes, which go back to him, of course, and have some money for a rainy day. And then I had maybe a couple dollars left to actually spend and get my dipped ice cream cones. So
that's my favorite. Did you have a favorite dip?
Well, no, the chocolate. I mean, you can't go wrong.
True, but butterscotch was good too.
You know what? You're right. Yeah. That's fair. Those were absolutely amazing. But I mean, it was ice cream, so you can't go wrong.
Very true. Yes.
So yeah, just learning and having those lessons at a young age, and then becoming older and realizing like not everybody had those conversations at the dinner table, and really wanting to be a support and empowerment to, especially women, as we navigate our finances and own our financial journey. And so even now in my practice, I specialize in supporting women in transition, whatever that transition may be, whether it's marriage, graduation from college, divorce, taking care of aging parents, sending kids off to college, whatever is happening in life, just making sure that you're on track and able to pivot as needed and adapt as needed. With your financial plan. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people don't have those conversations. Like, especially like you said, for women, I think financial literacy was never something that was prioritized when we were growing up. So I love that you bring that awareness to it.
And especially this being Women's History Month, right?
I know, it's so on brand. I love it.
And it was not that long ago that we weren't even allowed to have a bank account without a husband. So it is definitely important that we now gain this knowledge that we didn't have access to before. Because we are earning more, out-earning our partners and outliving our partners just statistically. So we'll need to be able to take charge and take power over that.
Yeah. Do you know when it was and we couldn't, the exact year?
I want to say it was late 70s before.
That's just crazy. That's insane to think about. Like our parents dealt with that. Wow.
Yeah. Just a little over 50 years ago.
And speaking of, having advice and having that conversation at the dinner table, what would be some advice that you would either give future you or that younger version of yourself?
Ooh, younger me would have been start early, save often. Just having that habit of saving, no matter how much it is. Because some folks say, I can't even put away that much. I can only do $10 a month or whatever it is. Like that's still giving you the power of compounding interest and time value of money. And so being able to save early and often builds a habit that you will be able to maintain going forward as you start earning more.
Right.
You already have that muscle.
I was just going to say, it really is like working a
Yes.
muscle to get into the habit of that.
Yes, and having just done my first bikini bodybuilding competition, like
Wait, that's a whole nother thing we got to go down.
Okay, we'll get there. But like I realize, I appreciate so much more now that discipline and how that really shows up in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
Just being able to do the reps and build that muscle and have that habit.
That's
So,
incredible.
Save early and often.
Do you have advice for future you?
Future me. That's a great question. Future me. Just do it. Like whatever the thing is. Don't overthink it. It's never too late. You're never too far into something to pivot. Like just do it. So
I love that. I always say like just the first next step,
Yeah.
first next step, because when you're driving, you don't see your final destination. You just see literally what's right in front of you.
And I tell my son that all the time. He's playing basketball for the YMCA. He's 8. And he sometimes gets worked up about the last play. And I'm like, hey, that play is over. You can't redo it. Next play, let's go.
I love that.
Yeah.
A lot of, especially like you can't change the past either, so you might as well just keep moving forward.
Yes.
So how do you train that muscle
How do you train that muscle of saving?
of saving and maybe even the muscle, I mean, just the muscle of discipline, really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is all about like built different, is like you would think that some of these basic common knowledge things that we are told to do is so hard for people to do. So it really is building a muscle.
It is, and it's not fair to like oversimplify and say, oh, it's just so easy. Just like do the thing.
Yeah.
So I realize me saying just do is like not always that easy, and sometimes there's a lot of mental junk and like mental battlefield of thoughts to navigate. But I think being organized and understanding where you are right now, and taking that inventory, especially when it comes to saving. Like it's hard to think about saving when you're not certain what bills you have, what accounts you have, where you're putting this money, what's the goal of it. So just getting yourself organized, taking that time to forego the Sunday fun day or the bottomless brunch mimosas to say I'm gonna lock in and invest in me a little bit and take the time to just write out maybe all the things that you kind of have going for you right then.
Yeah.
Different accounts that you have, what they're for, how they work, what interest rates you're paying on any debt, and then getting your goals established for, okay, well, I want to be out of debt in 12 months, 24 months. I want to buy a house at this certain point.
Right.
I want to take a trip. Like whatever that goal is, just have that in front of you. Writing it down also contributes to the success of it. And then getting a game plan together for how you want to attack it. And then it's not I say it's not the red writing in the Bible. Like once you have a plan in place, it's not in stone. So if life happens, life. You can pivot, you can change. It makes sense to reassess what you're doing.
Yeah.
I do that all the time with my clients. For folks who have more complex situations, it might be quarterly reviews, at least semi-annual, and for sure annual. Like we're looking at what we've accomplished and where we're going, and if we're still on track. So we can continue to stay on track. So I would say the first step is just getting organized and knowing where you are, and not treating your financial life like your kitchen junk drawer, because we all know
wow,
we have
that is such a good analogy, genuinely.
Right? We all know we have that kitchen
gosh.
junk drawer where you don't necessarily want to stick your hand in it. You know what you need is in there, but you don't want to like just.
I do. I'm an
up
interior
into it.
designer on my own, so I know very well. I always say, like, if you really want to get to know what's going on in your internal world, look at that junk drawer or the closet. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So you understand.
Yes.
So yeah, just kind of ordering your organization boxes off of Amazon, putting it in that junk drawer, and figuring out what's there.
I love that. And I think too, one thing I learned in my 20s was definitely like, there's a lot of feelings and emotions I think that come up when it comes to saving and money and understanding how it works and thinking that you need to attach a story to what is happening.
Yeah.
So what would you give advice to people who maybe struggle with that, and maybe there's a lot of wounds behind what they grew up with that?
And you said attach a story, but sometimes there's a story already attached that you didn't realize.
Yeah,
That was already
subconsciously.
programmed for you. No fault of your own. Family generationally, we get our money habits when we're very young. I fortunately had my father who, had those money conversations, those hard conversations, and just kept it real with me about how the world worked. But if that is something that you are thinking about, there's some really great reads. There's Psychology of Money, there's Soul of Money. There's some different books that help you kind of unpack those things.
Yeah.
but just taking time to like think about like, okay, where does belief about money come from, and these money beliefs. And sometimes you realize, you know, there was something that happened that gave you a certain perspective about your financials or how money worked or a certain system, and now you see things differently, and that's okay. Like, you're allowed to evolve and grow and adjust your perspectives. And so I think taking the time to educate ourselves and understand more also enhances our thoughts and understanding what's possible when it comes to saving. Reading other people's stories and seeing what they were able to accomplish, and just knowing that we can expand our vision for what we want for ourselves.
I love that.
It's possible.
Definitely. And I think starting where you're at too, I think a lot of people have a lot of judgment of like, okay, well, I'm this age, like I should have this amount saved, and it's like, well, like we said, we can't go back.
You can't go back.
You can't go back.
And on average, like most folks historically or statistically don't even start thinking about saving for retirement until 42. So now you're trying to save.
Wow, that's interesting.
Now, and most people would think, oh, I'm behind. But no, you're right with the average person that's preparing for retirement. And think about that. You start at 42 thinking about retirement. Retirement's usually around 59, 60, somewhere in there, a little bit later nowadays. People are working longer, but you're now trying to save for something that, for the next 20 years, for something that could last 30 plus years. Right. Which that doesn't quite math. So that's why I said save early and often, because the sooner you start, the more prepared you are and the more freedom and choices you have for when you can do it. But there is no, you know, everybody's narrative is their own. There is no right or wrong. Right. Like, as you said, just start where you are with what you have, and do what you can do.
I love that. And then just because we have a lot of entrepreneurs on the show, I think there's a lot of people that don't pursue entrepreneurship just because when it comes to corporate America, you have the 401k and you have the benefits and you have everything where you just boop, 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 and you select it. Yeah. So what would your advice be to an entrepreneur who's maybe starting a business and wants to start saving for their 401k?
That is a great question, and it is definitely a scary thing sometimes to think about. To let go of that comfort zone and that certainty.
I went through it recently, so that's why I just would love to hear your
And that
thoughts.
match and that free money, because you know most companies still do offer a match up to a certain point in your 401k. But I think also, you know, if you're thinking about it in the beginning, early on stages, then you can prepare yourself and plan well for that. You can put different accounts in place that allow you to have a place to put away funds. But also too, at the beginning, you're building, so you're investing a lot in your business. And that too is an asset, because at some point you're going to exit that endeavor that you're doing.
It's a great perspective,
And so building something that you are able to sell or offer shares for, or however you plan to expand, that is also an asset. So that is still you contributing to your future you and your retirement plan. So it's not exactly like you're giving up something. You really are truly gaining something, because now you own the thing.
That's so true.
And you can chart your own path and own what that looks like going forward, and know that the efforts that you're putting in, you're truly getting the return of investment on.
Which is like, that's freedom, right? That's what people forget.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's my favorite North Star for the work that I do, is people being able to have the peace and the freedom to truly make their own decisions and not feel like they're in survival mode of pressure and force to make certain decisions, but you've planned well, you've been organized, and now you're able to make those decisions.
Yeah. I think it's like, you said survival, it's like really coming down to being able to feel regulated in your nervous system, and then you're able to make smart financial choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was looking over there because we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Being able to just take the time to meditate and be at peace and balance. So
yeah, it's so important too, because then you actually can have the time with yourself where you're like, okay, I can, even if I don't like what I see, then I know that's just a number, and then it's just data.
Absolutely. I think legacy is also a word that comes up for me as I think about an entrepreneur stepping away from corporate into their story and journey. Because you are building freedom, but also legacy, in that you're building something now that you own, you have to leave to your generations behind you. And yes, I'm sure the legacy that you had at the corporate entity is impactful, and you were contributing to a team that was building something as well. But now this opportunity is going to be really your own. So.
Yeah. And I
For
think
some,
in
that's
that time
important.
in corporate too, you're building yourself in that time, so you can
Yeah.
actually have the confidence and the knowledge to build your own thing.
Yes.
So I take it all for
Yeah, no,
the
God's
journey is
definitely
just
got the
as
plan
important.
for us. So
Yeah.
He's making sure we've got the skill sets needed and are prepared for that calling. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Okay, so any last minute fun fact about you? Okay, here's one fun fact question I always like to ask.
Okay.
So if you know how cartoons have certain outfits that they're like known for wearing,
Sure.
what would be like your outfit that you're known for wearing if you were a cartoon?
Glitter. Anything that
I
sparkles.
love it. I love it. Okay, that's incredible.
I love a good sequence, everything.
Is there like a certain like top of glitter or like a dress or?
Certain a gown. I mean, there's been a lot of events and galas and fundraisers and anything we just came out of the holidays, so that's a fun time also for a sequence. So
I love it.
If there was an outfit, my cartoon outfit would absolutely sparkle.
I love that. That's beautiful, and that's how you shine. So how can people get a hold of you and reach you and get to, if they have any questions about their financial planning or just want to get to know you more?
So MVEST Wealth is the firm. M as in Malinda, VEST, and that's actually an acronym because we maximize value through education, service, and building trust. And so investwealth.com is our website, and you can reach me at melinda@investpartners.com. Yeah, and just happy to help. You can schedule right online and see kind of some of the services that we offer and
Beautiful.
get connected.
Well,
And we have an office here. I'm sorry, we have an office here.
On Millwork Commons.
Yes. I will share with you the address because I don't have it memorized because we just launched. So
That's okay. Millwork Commons, Ashton Building.
Yes.
Ask for Malinda Starr. She's probably wearing glitter. You'll find her. Well, thank you so much,
so much. This
Melinda.
was
It's
fun.
so much fun talking to you this morning.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.